All right, guys, we're going to get into another reaction video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and let's get into it.
Being in Miami for 2 years, how much do you realistically expect a man to make for you to take him seriously?
I think he's just gonna make enough that that we're comfortable.
What does that look like, though?
It looks like having like freedom. So like if we're like, hey, I want to go and do this, there's no limitation on it.
Monetary-wise, how much does that look like, you think, in your mind?
Millionaire.
To be comfortable in Miami?
Well, with the lifestyle.
You're a millionaire then, right?
If we talk about my boyfriends, yeah.
He's a millionaire?
Yeah.
How can he tell that you're not just with him for the money?
It's all about like doing things that like you truly like care about them, you know, like showing that you truly care. And like for me, it's not all about the money. It's about like being comfortable, loving the person, and if they have money, great.
So you were with him before he became a millionaire?
No, he had money before we met, but like I said, like all my exes, none of them had money. So
that's why they're exes now.
Well, yeah, you make a point. That's bad. It's more so like, hey, like I need someone on my level.
But you're not a millionaire.
No, but I'm going to be.
I need someone on my level.
Ridiculous.
Are you a millionaire?
Ridiculous.
No. So
that's insane. What are your thoughts?
Here we have another interview that was clearly done in. It looks like Brickell, Miami. Just like there's a lot of content creators interviewing in Brickell because it's a very interesting place. So first thing I'll say, so he asked her, how much does a guy need to make for you to take him seriously? And women do this pretty often. Before they hit you with the brutal truth or that crazy number, they're gonna try to soften a little bit. So she goes, oh, just enough for us to be comfortable. Oh, well, what does that look like? Oh, well, it looks like us having the freedom to do whatever we want to do. So she goes on to say that the guy has to be a millionaire. So in Miami, that doesn't surprise me at all because Miami, for anybody that's never been there, it's gold digger central. We'll actually give you guys some stats in a few minutes as to like how many millionaires there are in that specific area. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. She started mentioning that she wanted a guy that is going to give her freedom. It's going to be no limitations. And right away, you could tell, especially where she is in Miami, that 50, 60K, even 100K is not going to do it. Before she even mentioned millionaires, I was already thinking, okay, she wants a guy that's making $500,000 a year.
I was thinking she's going to say $500,000.
At the very least, you know, because again, 100K, even 200K won't be enough.
No.
And then she brought up millionaires, and I was like, I knew it. I'm not surprised. Like you said, gold digger mentality, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by it. I mean, you know, it says a lot because she wants a guy that provides that amount of money. But where is the guy? I don't see him anywhere in that picture.
I'm going to give you guys some stats as to why Brickell, Miami, and Miami in general is like gold digger central, because for gold diggers, I think Miami, it's just like shooting fish in a barrel for them. That's where like all the rich guys are. They could just, I mean, Brickell, we've been there so many times. It's not really a big place. It's a nice modern city, but it's not really a huge place. Like if you go out into the town, you know, at nighttime, you could just tell there's like wealthy people everywhere crawling the streets. And then, you know, women are chasing after these guys. So let me give you guys some stats. So Miami has seen a 75% increase in millionaires from 2012 to 2022. Okay. In 2022, you ready for this? Miami has 38,000 millionaires. 38,000 millionaires. 160 centimillionaires, meaning people that have $100+ million, and they have 12 billionaires. This was from 2022, so it's probably even more now because a lot of people have been moving there over the past few years. So watching this interview, I'm not surprised that every time they interview a woman in Brickell, they're going to throw crazy numbers like this because in Miami, it's expected.
Absolutely. I mean, when you're talking about around 38K, right? So
38,000 millionaires.
Yeah. So you're already expecting, you're waiting for that guy to come and appear in your life if you're a woman down in that area. And why not? I mean, if there's a possibility, you go for it. But unfortunately, guys have to watch out that they don't fall into that trap, that they don't fall into the trap that a woman is going to just want them for their money. She was BSing with the loving and caring for him and all that stuff. It's not about that. Come on.
Yeah, I was gonna say he at one point asked her like, how does he know that you're not just with him for the money? And she started saying like, oh, well, it's how you care for the guy and you show affection and stuff like that. But
stop the cap.
You just said that you need the guy to make $1 million for you to even take him seriously. So the women contradict themselves like this all the time.
What do you care about? You care about his cash. You care about his bank account. Come on.
You care about the benefits you're getting from dating said millionaire. It has nothing to do. You don't have any affection for the guy, because if the guy went broke tomorrow, the relationship would be done that same day. So let's not shit ourselves. That has anything to do with affection or caring. I think what she means is she has to be on her best behavior with a guy like that. I think women know that when they're with their best option, a millionaire in Miami, and that's providing them lifestyle to that extent, they have to be on their best behavior.
And she admitted that she wouldn't get with that guy if he wasn't a millionaire. He was a millionaire before they met, according to what she said.
Yeah, he asked her, did you date him before he was a millionaire? Which that was obviously like a setup question. She said no. And then she said, she said something along the lines that like all her exes were broke.
Her exes were broke.
That's why they're exes.
That's why they're exes,
yeah.
Exactly, because she could have cared for them. She could have loved them for them. But that's not the case.
No.
She was capping. She cares about a guy that can provide for her, that can give her the benefits of the amount of money that he has, which is that lifestyle, right? That freedom that she wants. And that's all she's after. And that's what guys have to be careful. Men out there have to be careful, is that if you see a woman that's just after that, you're in trouble big time. And I would just get away from a woman, that type of woman, so you can avoid all sorts of problems.
You know what? And for anybody that's watching, if you ever visit there, just don't even bother buying bottle service or trying to impress girls down there, because you could blow $5,000 without even trying at a club on bottles. I remember when we were there in August, we went to this place called the Marion, and there's nothing really special about that place. It's basically like a restaurant, and after dinner, it turns into a nightclub. So it's just like a restaurant with a stage and a DJ booth. Nothing like crazy, over the top. And there was 2 menus. There was a regular menu, and then they had like the bottle service menu. And I grabbed the bottle service menu thinking that's the actual menu. And there were bottles on there for like $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 per bottle. Okay.
Insane how high bottles can be.
So don't go there and buy one of those to try to impress girls, because that's just, there's millionaires that are buying these things 2, 3, 4, 5 at a time, and it's nothing for them. You're going to go broke trying to impress a girl down there.
I mean, there's guys that if they have the condition and a woman is reciprocating, he's giving the value to her, she's reciprocating certain value to him, we're talking a whole different ballgame, but that's a rarity. And you don't want to just go out there throwing money away, especially when you don't have that condition to throw money away like that. It doesn't make any sense.
I'll tell you, Miami's an interesting place, and I noticed there's a lot of interviews that are being done right on the street in Brickell, and it's always like in front of Moxie's. That's kind of like the center of the town, if you want to say.
It's kind of like
where everybody's like, yeah, it's like downtown.
Yeah.
But it's a very interesting place. I mean, I think if you go there with like $100K salary, like you might be from a different state and think like, oh, I make pretty good money. Then you get there and you take a look around and you're like, oh wow, I ain't shit. Like when you really soak in the buildings and the people and the cars, G-Wagons everywhere. Everybody has a G-Wagon. Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Maseratis, like it's just regular life over there. So she mentioned like, lifestyle. She wants a guy that's going to provide that with no limit, which was interesting because it's not enough to just have it. Like she wants no limits. If she wants to go on a yacht today and she wants to go to Greece tomorrow, there's no limits, remember,
I mean, to survive down there with $100K, you're talking about typical rent is between $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Typical. And
rent's crazy.
That's on
there.
the low end. I've heard rent's higher, $5,000, $6,000 a month, and they're just going up because it's such an area that's in demand down there that why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it go higher? Landlords are just going to take advantage. Can't blame them, but you don't want to fall into that trap. As a guy, you don't want to fall into that trap to just go spend, and you're leading with your money to a woman is going to get you nowhere because she's just going to like you automatically for your money. And we've heard that on other podcasts before. You take your money, you spend it on a woman right away, forget about it. She's just going to look at you as a bag of money, and she's just going to use you for that. Instead of viewing you as she was saying, a person that a woman would care about or, love and all that stuff. So,
I'm sure the guy that she's dating knows exactly what it is too. Like, you think that's his only girl?
I doubt it.
She said the guy's a millionaire. You think that's the only, like, he probably has like five side pieces.
I'm sure he has plenty of options.
How dare you?
Hey.
She was pretty good looking, but she wasn't anything like crazy over the top.
I don't think she was anything special. Your normal woman, nothing too great. I think there's much better looking down there, especially in Brickell, in Miami.
What are your final thoughts on the video? For me, it's just another typical gold digger in Miami. It's nothing. It's expected.
Yeah, I think to get a guy like that, I have some statistics myself. In the U.S., there's approximately 22 million millionaires. 67% of them are men. You're talking about 14.7 millionaires, and that's 4.4% of the U.S. population, the male
4%.
Yeah, of the U.S. male population. So that's a very, very low amount because we're not just talking about Miami here. We're talking about the entire U.S. all spread out. So, it's really tough to expect a guy of that caliber because, again, there's not many men of that caliber, but there are a lot of beautiful women. So if you're aiming to get a guy that is a millionaire, and I'm sure women don't want just a guy that's a millionaire. They want a guy who's 6 feet tall or higher. They want a guy who's a leader. They want all these things from a guy that we've, of course, covered before. And the percentage of men that fill that group or get smaller and smaller, the more they want, the more they ask for that for more from that guy. The more conditions they ask from a guy, the smaller amount of men can fill that role. And the men that are going to fill that role are going to have a variety of options that they're going to look for the top tier women in that case.
This is why these gold diggers flock to certain areas, like Miami, LA, New York City's another one. I had some stats pulled up before. Like Florida actually ranks 4th highest for the most amount of millionaires in the U.S. Surprisingly, because Miami's really small. Florida's a pretty big state, but the state of Florida is actually 4th on the list for the most millionaires in the U.S.
I could see that.
California was number 1. I think New York was number 2 on that list. Yeah,
I know Texas was up there in the top 5.
Texas was up there
number
too.
3.
It was California, Texas, New York, Florida.
Yeah.
Top 4 most millionaires. So that's where these gold digger types go.
I thought the funny part was where she says she wants someone on her level, but he asked if she was a millionaire, but she's not. And she wants a millionaire.
Yeah,
so
the rhetoric that women spit out sometimes, like, oh, I need a guy on my level. Are you a millionaire? No, but I will be one day.
Yeah, exactly. She will be one day when she sucks a guy dry. So again, don't be.
She'll be one after the divorce.
Don't be that guy that she sucks dry. That type of woman sucks.
I believe she'll be a millionaire one of 2 ways: from a divorce or from OnlyFans.
That's how many women are rich nowadays. Millionaires nowadays from those.
That's the business strategy for 2024.
Yep, exactly. So we'll leave it at that. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We'll give you more reaction videos, so don't miss them. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and get us out there in the algorithm. We're here to give you some funny moments, and I think
we'll be doing more reaction videos, and we have some pretty funny Tinder profile reviews coming up.
Oh, definitely. Be ready for that.